We are broadcasting, and this is the newsunit.com broadcasting on the YouTube video network on a standby channel. The information presented here is not necessarily that of myself or anyone else that participates. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and we can neither confirm nor deny the accuracy of any of this. Standard disclaimers apply, and Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976 applies, and Absolutely. All the rest of it. And I just can't believe what's happening here in the cryptosphere and how I've been viciously bullied and attacked by the No Limit Coin cult, and how they're actually, this is bullying. This is a cyber attack on the news unit. What's going on here?
Did you get my puppy voucher that I sent? There's a puppy therapy place that I've located close to you, where
really?
You can go and cuddle up. Yeah, and it's just not ordinary puppies; they're crypto puppies.
Okay.
They're all on the blockchain.
Nice.
If one drops out, the other puppies will come in, and
I can get some therapy there.
Yeah, just so you can feel better about being such a bad person for criticizing the crypto sphere. And so as a result, the crypto puppies will be sort of not really kissing up to you, but just giving you a bit of love, Dave, because it must be extremely traumatic. I mean, I can't imagine being an air traffic controller for over 10 years and just not freaking out at some extremely major life attack like this, where somebody is butthurt about losing a bit of money they never actually really had to start with. Because that's the real thing that gets me awake at night. I'm like, oh my God, if I started a cryptocurrency and I pumped it up like maybe a couple of months ago and it all started to go down, I'd be like, Jesus, man, the world's fucking crashing. I need puppies. I need to send Dave some puppies to make him feel better about the fact that he's a bad person. You're a bad man, Dave.
Because this kind of attack on me has permanently and emotionally scarred me now. And
it's scarred me too. It's not just you.
Yeah.
I'm scarred through you. It's like the scarring's come all the way to Australia, like to the point where I can't recover.
It's terrible. Now, for some reason, let me just do a screen capture for you because I got to show you a couple things here. For some reason here, and I put a post up on the news unit about this. No Limit Coin is collapsing over the news unit.
I read that. That was funny as fuck.
Right. And, I was inspired by this because of some of the media people that are complaining about Donald Trump, and the same thing happens to them. They are permanently and emotionally scarred by what he says to them and how he treats them. And the same thing is happening to me, the news unit,
Well, I've always known that you're a bit of a wuss, Dave, and I'm not surprised that you're coming clean now about, the butthurt, because I mean, that's basically what you've been hiding all these years.
I know. I've been in denial. I know that. And I just
it's bad. It's bad. It's good that you've come clean, but it's not enough. Now you need to issue a formal apology, right, to the NLC crew properly, and you've got to mean it as well. And when you do it, you've got to do it with feeling, all right? Not just, Yeah, and I'm not talking about just whipping yourself or,
No, I know.
There has to be some deep regret,
Exactly.
Really heartfelt kind of, I feel I'm fucking so bad as a person for pointing out that the whole thing's tanking.
Look at it is. And look at the declining.
Fucking man.
As inaccurate as technical analysis is, we can look at the past performance here over the last couple of weeks and see that this declining tops trend line is really going down. Look at that.
See, David, technical analysis is correct in the rear view measure, right? You can definitely say what happened after it happened. You just can't say what's going to happen in the future. But hell yeah, you can look at a train wreck and you can plot its demise. But anyway, I don't know. Secondly, let me be clear. I don't know its demise. I don't know anything about No Limit Coin 2 and its stock value or price. And I don't know whether or not it's going down because, of whatever reason. I just fucking got the shits with that guy telling you, where does he get off telling you what to do and what to say? It makes it look so bad for the news unit.
I think there's a new bunch of rules that are unwritten now that apply in the new world, community of things. And I just don't know how it all works yet. I didn't get the memo.
I thought when you were in adventure with somebody, even if it was only for a short period of time and things were going to hell, you'd go, dude, what the fuck? What's going on? Everything's
Yeah, I thought. Well, see, there were some people that had questions. The whole thing started when I got interested in No Limit from a buddy of mine out in Colorado that introduced me to it. And he said, "Hey, this looks pretty good." It's a fantasy sports platform and all this. And then
I like fantasy sports. I love sports. I like the idea of betting on sports. I'm fine with that.
Exactly. And I had to see
stupid leagues for years where you put a couple of bucks in and you have a bit of fun and
Yeah, I had the CEO on my broadcast. He thanked me. He introduced his platform and things. And then, of course, there were a lot of people that were interested. They started to get into the coin. They actually traded into the coin on the Yobit exchange and on the Cryptopia exchanges and a couple other exchanges, and they made some money and stuff, and they were real happy about that. And then they started to ask me. They asked me questions about it, and I'd attempt to get the CEO on again. And we did it, and then we got into some more questions, and now the price has turned down, and everybody was kind of like wondering what's going on here. They're asking me about it, and I'm, I have to get the answers from this.
I don't know, like maybe a lot of the people who were involved in it have not really. I'm not saying the CEO or whatever, but maybe a lot of the people in the community are just. I wouldn't immature is the wrong word. Maybe they haven't been around the block very much, or maybe they just don't care. I mean. It's obvious that a lot of people in the crypto sphere are out for a quick buck, but like I said, I don't knock that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to make money, right? No. And it's wrong with giving it a punt, but you can't. Well, you can if you're gonna like shut down your critics, as soon as they pop up. Well, then you're a fly by nighter, right? And it's just obvious. It's going to make it worse. It's going to make people think badly about you. And if you really, I mean, the whole point of this thing, I would imagine, is to attract new investors and new money. Because the people who actually put the money in to start with bought it for practically nothing. If you want to attract new money, you can't go around shutting down criticism because that just looks like you're fucking just ripping people off or whatever. I mean, if you've got a real product, then, you've got to come out and say it and say why and you've got to be committed and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and if you're going to be calling yourself the news unit, well, then, of course, it's supposed to be about the news, not about, like, what some guy wants you to say.
Yeah, I know. It's true. But I think nowadays the tables are turned. There's new regulatory unwritten rules and stuff in the New World community, the collective community of, what do you call it? They call it communitarianism. I don't know what that exactly is.
I haven't heard of that before. What the hell is that?
Well, it's the new community, global community. They call it communitarianism. Yeah, I don't really know. But
how is that differentiated from authoritarianism?
Maybe it's very similar, but in a different sort of.
Just like saying, I will define the community, and I'm going to be the authority on it, and it's authoritarianism. Isn't that just saying, like, I will define a community, I will say who's in the community, I will say what the community thinks and believes, and it's just authoritarianism? Wouldn't that be? I mean, a community is supposed to be a bunch of people who can freely speak to each other and is robust enough to actually take criticism. That's the kind of community I envision as a community.
And people are telling me, that this looks like a pump and dump, but if you bring it up, you can't say that anymore. You can't say anything negative.
Why not? I mean, fuck them. If it's a pump and dump, it's a pump and dump. There's plenty of pump and dumps out there, I
never said it was. I asked the question.
Of course you're allowed to ask that question, because, I mean, how many are there? I mean, there must have been. I haven't been following the cryptocurrencies that strongly, but of course, people are going out there trying to start something and hoping to profit from it quickly and bail out if it doesn't work. I mean, that's just the first thing these sound people think about. So, it just it's like, I don't know, it's just obvious. I mean, what's controversial about that?
Oh, it's just, I'll tell you what, dude, I don't know what to do about it. But Tacos has given me some therapy too. In fact, he made a nice song about it, which I posted up on the news unit. Yeah. And
the thing I liked about Taco's song is it was so bad. His song was so bad that I thought, if you're listening to this and you've just lost 18% of your fucking market share, and you've got a guy who's completely incompetent at singing or doing anything, and he's still taking a piss out of you, how bad does that feel?
And look at some of the people that make comments too. This isn't my comment. This is a red flag. Somebody said the season started in August, September. There's no bullish trend. White paper came out recently.
Yeah, I actually started reading their white paper, and little to zero enthusiasm is kind of my take on it as well. Initially, those criticisms are, they're just valid, normal criticisms, and what do you expect in the crypto sphere? You know what I mean? It's just alive and popping with people looking for quick cash and money. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, it's just like sort of a step up from blackjack and gambling where, but sometimes these things catch fire and sometimes these things come alight and something good comes out of it, sometimes serendipitously or, randomly.
But this isn't the way that you treat somebody that you want to to do all sorts of contact liaison work here in Wisconsin regarding the WTMJ TV and radio station.
Well, he's probably just using you, right? Or not using you is the wrong word.
I think so.
You probably volunteered yourself to go out there. You probably have a few No Limit coins yourself. Maybe you got in a little bit early and you're benefiting from the rise in it. But at the same time, you're using it. So, like, you know, you're having a go at it as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of that. I mean, and if you got in early on it, more power to you and good for you.
Yeah. But
no one's forced to buy or whatever, but they're obviously all pretty fucking butthurt at you. Massively.
Yeah, another thing I looked at on the Facebook, that this is a finance company, No Limit Coin. It mentioned that it's a finance. What is it? How could it be a finance? What is a finance company? I wonder what the definition.
Well, it's somebody who provides finance to other people, like loans. Okay, so you're loaning people money.
Well, maybe they must loan people money then here with this No Limit Coin. Besides, maybe we don't know about that aspect of the business.
Well, like I said, I don't know anything about it. I mean, I briefly hit the guy's LinkedIn or whatever. It said that he was working for like a payphone company for 19 years or something like that. But I don't like to judge people without knowing anything about them or whatever.
Yeah, if you search it on Facebook, if you look at it on Facebook, if you type in No Limit Coin,
I'm actually not that interested in the guy. Like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in like just catching up with you and having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I try to do here. But then, of course, we're met with all this opposition and bullying and gang attacks.
That's because you're actually threatening their real money. Okay, like what you were doing was clearly, I'm guessing, something that, you know, they were in a bit of panic and things went down, and they thought, well, you know, if Dave's supposed to be supportive, we're going to shut him up, and if he doesn't toe the line, you know, we'll just take action. Eventually, they try and silence you because, like, this is real money to them, right? So this is like
right.
A lot of money in their own minds, but it's morally bankrupt. And like,
I thought it was open source, open season, and you know, with no centralization and everything. But apparently, there's other things involved.
Well, I mean, it's obvious what their motivations are and why they're doing what they're doing. And like,
right, exactly.
You know, it's just the usual drill. But I mean, if you're going to get involved with people like that, David, that you don't know, you know, of course they're going to turn on you, you know, here and there and whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's part and parcel of the rough and tumble of whatever.
Maybe I would have been better to change the news unit to No Limit Coin unit news and then just talk positive about it all the time. Would that have been better?
Yeah, that would have been a lot better, David, and you would have had such a better life. Right. It would have been great for you. And like, here's what really makes me laugh, right? Let's supposing you look at lottery winners and people like that. Let's supposing that you get lucky or you get rich through something that you didn't really earn. It doesn't actually help you. It doesn't improve your character. It doesn't change the nature of relationships. It actually makes it worse because you end up like with the same mindset as before, but you just have more power that's unearned, right? And you end up making a train wreck of yourself. So you can't roll like that. You know, I'm not saying you personally. It's got to be real. Like if you really looked into fantasy sports and No Limit currency, I'm not saying that none of these people have. I mean, maybe they have to a large degree, and good luck to them. But if you really buckled down and said, look, you know, I can see an opening in the market. We're going to make a great website. You know, we're going to make it really work. You know, we've done our market research. You know, all gangbusters go. And it's not just sort of fluff, you know, and it's you know, of course, there has to be a dreamlike element to it. But if there's actually some real code behind it that's actually, you know, based on market research and a person who's had some success in the area and something like that, well, then it's not, you know, if you get rich from that, well, then you've made it because, you know, you've discovered a market and you've mined it and you've owned it. But you can't just run around like in the crypto sphere with stupid ideas. I'm not saying no outcome is a stupid idea. You can't, you've got to actually have the goods or you get found out, right? You'll just get smashed.
Yeah, and look at this. People are telling me that this is a pump and dump chart pattern, which I don't know anything about because I'm not really that.
I don't know. It just looks like a squiggly line to me. So who knows? I don't know why it's going up and down. It could have been China, could have been Bitcoin. I don't know. I don't put much faith in charts. I put faith in ideas, right? You want to look at the idea behind business and have a look at the market and see, is there a market for this? Is it priced right? You know, does it have a competent team of people behind it? Do they have any kind of credibility? Is it got backing? You know, you're looking at the fundamentals of the team, you know, and the idea. You don't just look at the chart. You know, obviously that's just like a little post story. You know, I mean, you could look,
and that's the thing. I was trying to provide a platform.
You could pick any point in that chart, right, and say it's going up, it's going down, it's here, there, whatever. it's just a line. What's the fundamentals behind the idea? That's the
Well,
key
the only
question.
place you can find out any information on this coin and the business is if you provide a YouTube presence for him, which is what I was doing, and I was trying to do this. But of course,
you did the wrong thing.
I know,
You were
because
the-
I had people that were asking questions, and you just can't ask questions, I guess.
No, you can't. You're the bad man. When it goes down and you ask why it goes down, you're the bad man. If it goes up and you say nice things, you're the good man. That's
Okay.
I mean, that is what the news unit is. The news unit is basically saying good things about people on the way up, and when they say bad things on the way down, it's time to silence them, because we don't want that kind of stuff going on.
No,
We
no,
want
you
actually
can't do
real
that.
people in a real business who have actually thought about things and are willing to have robust conversations. We just want fluff.
Right.
That's
So
what
if
I
you-
want.
Now
That's
here's
what
another.
When I invest in a coin, I look for fluff. I look for good news on the way up and good news on the way down. That's what I look for, Dave.
Exactly. So how do you find anything about No Limit on the websites? Well,
I don't know.
you have to go to a website. They Call Me Dan. You have to go to the YouTube channel called They Call Me Dan.
Okay, it's kind of crazy.
And this is the guy that's second in command
All right.
next to the Raphael CIO. He's another developer, one of the big guys that started all this too, I guess.
Okay.
And he's on his way to he's on his way to being a billionaire.
Has he got a coding base or something? Like, has he got like a coding background or?
Well, I don't know for sure. Let me
It sounds
take
to me like when I looked up the guy, it sounded like he's working for a telephone company for 19 years or something like that. And
well, I don't know. I think these guys are very wealthy individuals, but let me take a look at the website again, because he's on it here. If you look at the
well, it couldn't be that wealthy,
website,
Dave.
this is the No Limit Coin
Running
website.
your channel trying to shut you up.
Well, they were
I mean, what-
concerned. Yeah, didn't it? It was interesting that Raphael said that I have such a worldwide presence here on the news unit.
I mean, the guy was delusional. He's talking about how a couple of headlines can move millions of dollars. I mean, like, it's just delusional thinking.
So if you scroll down here and you look at the team, here's the team. You have Raphael Grossworth, the CEO. He's got a hat, though, that says CIO, so I don't know what the difference is.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay, then the other guy here, Dan Hensley, he's on the business development. They've got a co-founder here, Oscar Peralta.
Yeah, they look like kind of slick marketing guys, which is nothing wrong with that. Like, you want to try and promote things.
Kind of interesting comments here, too. They got growth hackers. What are growth hackers?
I know, it's like kind of buzz technology words, but it all sounds very pulled together, like fly by night sort of, it doesn't sound solid at all.
But the website, the YouTube channel where you find out all the information about it is here by Dan Hensley's They Call Me Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, Dan, They Call Me Dan. By the way, I was due to a terms violation. My streaming has been restricted on the other channel.
You're a bad man, David. You're a bad man.
I know. They talked about bullying too, that I was bullying, and
you're very frightening, David. You're a frightening individual. Honestly.
It's terrible.
There are times that I haven't been able to talk to you just out of sheer fear.
See, so now here's his recent videos. This recent one's called Deep Lures, Viva Bitcoin, Strength versus Weaknesses. And then the last video that mentions NLC2 is this one that was a day ago. Let's take a look at this for just informational purposes and criticism. You can do that, under the Fair Use Act. But then again, it depends.
No,
Yeah.
you've got to say good things. It's got to be good, positive.
Really? Okay.
No, critical thinking is not allowed. That's wrong. Critically analyzing things is wrong.
Oh, I'm so much a snowflake now on another level. I see what it feels like now to get bullied.
It really pisses me off. People who actually try and start something and it's all fluff and no substance. They can't take any critical evaluation and they can't take any criticism, and they don't have any. It's just nothing. There's nothing behind it. And now if there is, I'll get to it, right? I'll criticize you, I'll debate you, I'll figure out what's going on. And if you've got a nugget of gold there, I'll go, you know what? You're fucking right. I'm behind you for these reasons, and here's something you can do better. But there's so many people who they're so lazy and they're so boring and they're so stupid and they're so arrogant. They think other people are stupid. And so they just rip them.
Would you do me a favor? This video that we're on right now, I don't know if you got a link to it or not.
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Yeah, send a link to that little chat room that we were in so the other guys know where it is, just in case they wanted to watch it.
No, I can only see it on your screen. Like,
no, I'm talking about the actual YouTube window that we're on right here. Do you have it or no?
Yeah, it says They Call Me Dan. You've typed it's called junk. No, you got No Limit 2. Jungle.
We'll look at this first. We'll look at This is They Call Me Dan's YouTube channel. What I meant was something else, but let me look at this first because I want to show you where you find all the information about No Limit Coin and how it's presented there. Are you ready to check this out? Just listen to about 1 minute of this. Are you ready?
I'm prepared. I've prepared myself.
Yeah, this is how it works. So listen in.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
This is not financial advice. This is my journey. You're responsible. Fair enough.
Market hit at 150. Now we're back at where we were, basically 146, just kind of hovering around. Like I said, new updates for Ethereum coming out. We don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin. But either way, I'm optimistic because of the Lightning and all that good stuff. That's really what Bitcoin needs to become mainstream. And
you can stop it right there, David. I mean, these people. Guy obviously has no idea about anything. He's just pumping a fad. I mean, it's just clear as day. Just first words out of his mouth, which is fine if people want to go along with that kind of stuff. Look, I've known people when I was working at Perpetual Trustees in the IT department. I had people around me who went off and did wild investments. You know, in their 20s, like they went off and spent $10,000 here and there about stuff, and they chased Bitcoins, penny stocks, and all that kind of stuff. It just seems to be part of growing up. You know what I mean? Like people seem to have to go through that stage where you think you can get rich quick, and obviously all of them get burnt. I think you just have to go through it. You can't warn people about it because they're not going to listen. I mean, that video is just obviously pie in the sky rubbish about nothing. Okay, it's just someone hoping that things will go up, you know, like a fairy floss kid, you know, looking for the candy. So
it's unbelievable.
You know, well, I mean, it's not unbelievable. It's just normal human greed. You know, people have to learn. I mean, most people learn the hard way, David. Some people don't, but most do. So, I mean, what can I say? I mean, what's the point? What's the point of telling people not to do it? They're going to do it anyway. Yeah. So let them do it. And some people make a little bit of money out of it occasionally. I mean, and maybe you got a few No Limit coins, and perhaps you got in early, and good for you. So if you did, well,
yeah. And you know, I really it's just unfortunate because I was, you know, attempting to work with Raphael, and I thought I had a pretty good, you know, initial consultation with him, but I was waiting for him to get back to me in regards to doing all these things and just finding out more about the coin and the company. And, you know, there's so much obscurity. And then I had all these questions that were fielded at me from our group, you know, that we talked to for years here back in the weeds. And, you know, they had some concerns. And we have our analysts in there too, like Tacos and Papa Valium. And they were showing me, you know, the thing looks like a pump up. And, you know, and Tacos is like you. He's got an economics major and all that. And
well,
you guys,
I can tell you right now, if the whole thing goes down, it doesn't come back up, you'll never hear from the guy ever again. That'll be the end of it. So,
right.
But look, I like fantasy sports, right? I like betting on stuff. You know, I'm not a big gambling kind of guy, and I think I told you before, like I can kind of see how a Bitcoin style thing could work as a business model with regards to. It gives people a cut. It could give people a cut of the revenue from it without actually having to charge an upfront entry fee. So the fact that, you know, you're making a little bit money out of the coin, you could push that back and kick it back to different. Well, kickback sounds like a underhand deal. I'm saying you could use that as an incentive to sign different large leagues up because, you know, the punters are paying a small fee on the coin, and then, you know, you could slice a little bit off to the generator. So I'm not against the business model of that idea, just in principle, just thinking off the top of my head or anything like that. I just couldn't believe the guy coming on your channel and just disrespecting you so badly. It's just, I don't know, it just pissed me off. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what YouTube has to say. I filed a response to him. No, I mean, I think all these computers.
The guy was coming on as a CEO or CIO of a company, basically trying to manipulate your channel and tell you what to do and imply that you were bought off. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if he wants to make a big deal about that, well, then sure, let that go viral. See how well that does for his stock. Do you think that's a good idea? You
never
really
gave me
think that's a good
you know.
idea? I think it's a very bad idea
Yeah.
for him. And he should probably shut the fuck up about it and let it go, because it's just going to make him look like what he was really doing. He panicked when the stock price went down and tried to bully you. And fuck him.
It's terrible.
It is
it's
terrible.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'm permanently and emotionally scarred by this, and I think there's damages on toward me.
Oh,
and my
absolutely.
channel.
I'm damaged too. We're both damaged.
Yeah,
It's been very traumatic,
just-
David. I haven't been sleeping recently.
I know
Before this, yes, but now, no, not so much.
exactly.
I've been waking up in the middle of the night with these coins dropping on me or something, and there's been no limit to it. It's the second time it's happened. It's a crisis. It's a crisis, David.
It is, and that's what and then the good thing about it is that I can go to Tacos for therapy, and he had a really nice song which kind of helped me tonight.
It did. It was so bad. It was so bad that I actually liked it, because I thought to myself, these guys are going to listen to this guy's song, right? And even though it's really complete shit and it doesn't mean anything, it's like your stock still went down 18.5%. And you can laugh at him all you like, but it's all gone down. So
Yeah, exactly. So Tacos, he's great, man. Look, I mean, this really soothed my soul
This is DJ Tacos coming at you live.
to listen to.
Playing America's top hit singles. Coming in with America's groundbreaking hit single. No Limit Coin is collapsing. Oy vey, Ishmael. All right, DJ, let's take it from the top. 1, 2, 3. Oy vey, Ishmael.
And this is the kind of stuff that I like to do on the news. We'd like to play a little music and have a little radio style format, tell people what time it is. It's 47 minutes after the hour. And now let's have a song called No Limit Coin is Collapsing by Reverend Tacos.
Oy vey, Ishmael. Oy vey, Ishmael. I called my rabbi on the phone. I said, Rabbi, oy vey, Ishmael. I said, Rabbi, no limit coin is collapsing. Oy vey, Ishmael. No limit coin is collapsing. Oy vey, Ishmael. Oy vey, Ishmael. No limit coin is collapsing. Oy vey, Ishmael. I called my rabbi on the phone. I said, Rabbi, no limit coin is collapsing. No limit coin is collapsing. No limit coin is collapsing. On the level of an atomic wedgie. No limit coin is collapsing. No limit coin is collapsing. Oy vey, Ishmael. No limit coin is collapsing. It's collapsing on the level. No limit coin is collapsing on the level of an atomic wedgie. Oy vey, Ishmael. called my rabbi. I said, Rabbi. I said, Rabbi. No limit court is collapsing. No limit court is collapsing. I said, Rabbi, oi Shmir, oi Shmir. No limit court is collapsing on the level of an atomic worksheet. Oi Shmir. Oi Shmir. Oi Shmir. That was DJ Tacos coming at you live, never on recording, playing America's top hit singles. No Limit Coin is collapsing on the level of an atomic wedgie.
Thank you very much, Tacos, for that fine number. I'll tell you what, that's just, that to me is therapeutic, you know? And it's also the truth. You won't find the fake news around here. That's actually the truth in the news.
Well, I mean, all he did was sing about the fact that it was going down. I don't know. Things go up, things go down. Like, who knows? But
Right. You think they're going to flag? You think they're going to flag?
It's a joke anymore? You know, it's just crazy.
Now they might consider that bullying. They might consider that bullying.
I call bullying when Taco sung that song, which was extremely well thought out. I think he's been preparing for that all his life. He probably put about 6 years into like making it, and then he ripped it. Total bullying, man. I'm wrecked. I'm just wrecked. If I was a No Limit Coin holder and I heard that song and be like, oh my God, those lyrics are so powerful. It's obviously wrecked. I mean, the No Limit Coin's obviously collapsing. It's just
amazing.
Snowflake. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Well, actually, I know what's wrong. They're trying to hype their own thing, which is fair enough. I mean, why wouldn't you? I guess, especially if you'd bought in at low prices. I mean, that's what they all do in these cryptocurrencies. Like, you always have the people who got in early, telling everybody who's coming in late that you know, it's the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, that's the way of the world. So can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
Let's just
the Reverend. You know, there's another video about Tacos. His band.
What did he do?
Did you see this one from Trader Glenn? Look at this one here.
No, I didn't. I didn't see it.
No, this actually is the Reverend Tacos Guido's Mananero band. Check it out.
It couldn't be any worse than the first one. The first one was
this is him. This is him live on stage. Check it out.
Oh, I see. What the fuck is this? What the hell is that? What is that?
That's Tacos band.
What is that? What, I don't know. Multiple drugs, man. There's got to be multiple drugs involved. I don't understand. I don't understand. I can't hear a word he's saying. You know, David, just really surprises me that like the people at NLC2 are so butthurt about like humor like this. Really,
I know.
Is their coin that fragile that this type of fucking really horrible bad satire is a threat to their coin?
And look at Bitcoin's going to fall and take everything down farther. Look at that, 37.48. Bitcoin's going to crash. That's the end of Bitcoin. Jamie Dimon just spread FUD. You know, they don't like FUD is what the whole thing is, truth.
No, I didn't even know what FUD was until you told me the other day. Fear, uncertainty, doubt.
You can't have any of that. You can't have any of that anymore. You can't even, and if you are accused of spreading FUD, you're ostracized.
What the fuck what the fuck happened to critical thinking with people, honestly? Like I said, it only just reminds me of like when I was in my early to mid 20s, working in Perpetual Trustees and Macquarie Bank and places like that. Young men seem to go through this phase of I don't know, what do you call it? Just sort of this dreamlike state where they think that, like, you know, that they can make money just by sort of investing in things that, you know, because somebody said it was a good idea or something like that. And then you get older people, you know, I'm not saying that your friends like that or whatever, but, you know, who manipulate them, you know, and you know, take them for a ride. So
now Bitcoin is down $1,000 already from where it was just a few days ago, you know, and it's crashing. But if you say that, you're spreading FUD.
I haven't been following the price of Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, you should see how it's been coming down here. Look at a 6-hour chart here.
Well, I mean, if Bitcoin's been crashing, I suppose that, you know, probably all the other cryptocurrencies going down along with it.
Yeah,
because they're, you know, they're kind of marked in the thing. Like I said, I don't know any cryptocurrencies, right? I think I got one Bitcoin once. I suppose if I sold it now, it'd probably be worth what, about $5,000 Australian. You'd probably dig it up and sell it.
3,700. You should have bought it. You should have sold it back a week ago when it was about 4,800 or 4,900.
Yeah, I think I got one for a joke like years ago. It's floating around somewhere in my you know, key somewhere. I should probably sell it, but yeah, I mean, I'm just not into it. I do like the idea of the blockchain, and I definitely like the idea of a lot of the things about the blockchain and things like that. But I'm just I don't know. It's not a mature technology, and I haven't been staying on top of it, so I really don't know what's going on with it. So. Well,
it's going down for sure. See the chart there, but this would be spreading FUD. So I got to be very careful with this because I need to be sensitive to people's sensitivity.
No, that's not going down, David. That's just like a dip before it surges again. Like it's like it's like a slippery dip. Things go up forever. You got to realize that, David. They just go up and up forever.
Oh, that's right. This is a support line here. See that line? It's going to bounce right off that line because that's a technical analysis line.
Well, haven't you ever done a slippery dip? Like you go down the slippery dip, and then when you come up, you just boost up even higher. You know what I mean? That's just the way the world works. You know, it just keeps going up forever. Indefinitely.
That's right. I forgot about that. So here's what's going to happen. Bitcoin's not going to go down.
That's right. Those arrows, that's what you need to see. And
Exactly.
And more arrows too. And like if you ever see a down arrow, it's just going to go back up again. That's how the world works.
Right.
It's all good. Everything's good, David.
Yeah, it's going to go like this.
Yes! More. And that's not even, let's just draw it. Let's erase all the bad data that goes down. Let's just get rid of it and just draw an arrow vertically up to the sky in perpetuity, right? Like, let's just do a parallel line going straight up forever to infinity. And anyone who says it's different is wrong and bad, needs to be deleted from YouTube for bullying. Because that would be bullying.
Yeah,
bullying,
this is where it's going right here.
That's not steep enough.
No?
Straight up. No, that's not straight. I want straight up in the air, like completely straight. That's it.
Okay. All right, yep. We'll get it right because we got
anything worse than a perpendicularly straight parallel line straight up in the air is bullying, and I'm going to report you for making me feel bad about the fact that maybe it's not as good as I thought, because that's how life works. That's it. It's not completely right. I know you're trying, but there was a small kink.
Okay, let's get the straight line then here. Hold on.
That was a small kink there, Dave, and that triggered me. That triggered me into a YouTube.
And we want it to be green for go, right? Is this better?
That's very good. It's very good. I think I need you to zoom in on it and do a technical analysis of that line to make sure it's perfectly straight up. Because if it's not, I'm triggered.
Okay.
Because I got triggered by that, and
how's that?
You know what? That looks very straight to me, but I'd like to analyze the individual pixels to make sure they're all together. Because if 1 or 2 pixels is slightly out, it's not straight up in the air.
I just got my protractor out.
I'm going to ban you from YouTube.
I just got my protractor out, and it's exactly a ½ degree off of straight up. Do you want it to be straight up?
Well, banned.
Oh,
off YouTube. Booted off.
Not good.
Not good.
Okay, now we got it. We got it straight up.
Well, you know what, David? That's not good enough. Now, I want you to profusely apologize for not putting the line straight up in the first place. And secondly, some of the corrections you made were a little slow, right? They were a little slow to the straight line going up.
I'm working. I got a team working on it, though.
Genuine. I want you to properly apologize for not drawing the line straight up.
I publicly and properly apologize for spreading FUD about Bitcoin going down, because indeed it is going up, and we now have the ray, the vertical ray, even better than an asymptote. It's going straight up. So I have
You know,
corrected.
Dave, I don't really think you mean that. I think that you're only doing it because I told you to do it. So that apology is not good enough. I think you're only apologizing now because I told you to do it. So I want you to apologize again and better.
Folks, I really and heartily apologize. I put all my heart and soul in it because I do not desire to spread any FUD. I am turning over a new leaf. I realize my sins. YouTube and Google have taken my former channel down, and I realize now that I have to contribute to the community. I have to develop trust through collaboration, computation, communication, and thus I have drawn the trend line to indicate that Bitcoin is going to infinity. And I feel very positive about it. And I want to express that to the community.
You know, David, I think you're finally getting there. I think you're finally starting to sort of give me the kind of apology for not drawing the parallel line properly to infinity. But I feel like you're slowly starting to get it. Because before,
is there hope? Is there hope?
Talking about it going down, I'm like, God damn, this guy's talking about crazy shit. But now that you've apologized properly twice, and I will say, I'm starting to feel the love from the apology and the infinity chart. Maybe I think I can accept you back into the community.
I should put, you know what? I'm even going to do this much because I think it should be accentuated a little bit here for what we're talking about.
I think you're finally starting to get it, David. I think you're starting to. You know, I wasn't going to. You were out. You were out. You were just on the outer. But now
I'm even going to add the infinity.
I'm thinking about taking you back.
There's the infinity symbol, just so you know. So there's no indication of any misunderstanding.
Yeah, this is the kind of apology that I was looking for. Now,
right.
You're gonna have to work your way back up, David, because you have egregiously sinned.
Well, I'm gonna do that because that's what I've set up therapy sessions with tacos, and I'm gonna and puppies. Yep.
Yeah, and sweet smelling peaches and you know pornography. Don't say that.
Yeah, we don't. Exactly.
This is the kind of apology I was looking for. Now, like I said, you're gonna have to start at the shit kicker at the bottom again, and not only will you have to go around and put No Limit Coin posters up all around the place, you won't be allowed to use your car. You're going to have to jog on 1 foot and hop between bars, right? Carrying a 60-kilogram stack of posters around with no glue. Exactly. You have to lick each poster to lick it, right? And you have to stick it with your spit against walls in crack-infested areas. Okay, so that the crack, and they can see it going straight up. See, the drug addicts are the kind of people who can see No Limit Coin going straight up to the sky. Like the opiate kind of people, right? If you actually talk to other people like you have economics degrees or stuff and have skepticism, that's where the trouble started, David. That's where the trouble started.
Exactly.
You're a bad man. You're a bad man.
Yeah, but there's hope. There's still hope for people that want hope.
There's a small amount of hope.
Right.
With that apology, you've got to lick ass from the bottom up to get back into that community, and it's going to be a tough slog. It could take, you probably never really be accepted again because, you know, you've already broken ranks. So the best you could probably do is a half caste sort of, you know, whatever. But you know, maybe you could have like a secondary small life there where you're tolerated.
I'll just have to go back to fishing then. What am I going to do, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, just going around fishing on a boat. I mean, how bad would that be? I mean, just
right.
Yeah, and then just think about all the cool people in the NL2 community you pissed off by trying to point out the truth, and feel bad about that, David. Yeah, I would.
The rest of my life, I'm going to feel that way.
I'm already feeling guilty for you, and I'm actually coming up with an obituary for you, all based around No Limit Coin, because I realize it's psychologically scarred you and me.
It has.
Not only that, some of my neighbors have been scarred by it as well.
Just like some of these recent reports about reporters in the media that have been very much traumatized by President Trump. I'm the same way now. I'm personally and emotionally, you know, scarred, really, you know, and it's going to take time to recover. It really is.
I don't think you'll ever recover. I think it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I say that was a bit harsh. You know, I mean, I don't like break the news to you like that. You're never going to, you know, make it out of this this funk and this.
And it's jarring and scary. It's one of the things I won't be able to share with people anymore because it's just too traumatic.
This is why this therapy session is good for you, David. And like I said, like you got the puppy You got the puppy voucher, which is close to you. It's nearby. You can walk there with
Right.
the No Limit Coin stack of posters that you're going to lick and stick
Right.
on the walls near the crack houses because, you know, they're the kind of people who just want to see it going straight up in the air. I laugh so much about the little parallel line going straight up in the air. It's funny.
I'll tell you. Yeah.
Dave, we used to have some fun times. I'm
I
going
really appreciate that. I really appreciate your help in all these matters, you know.
Oh, I know, David. Without me, you'd be lost.
Because everybody, as you can see, there's 0 viewership right now. But when this uploads, there'll be more. But you know, they've really,
I
really,
don't care about the viewership. I just had a good time talking to you.
they've absolutely destroyed the news unit now.
Well, actually, it's all gone, David. Your life's over.
It's a has been, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm going to go. I've got a couple of things I've got to do. It's just
Same here. We're going to curtail the broadcast, let it upload, and see what happens, and see if we get any comments. And maybe this will get flagged and taken down too.
Well, I hope so because I actually feeling very guilty about the whole thing myself. I think that
I know.
we're wrong.
And
This,
this really,
we're very wrong.
this is a real. This is certainly going to be a threatening video too. You know.
I'm feeling Putin-esque kind of threatened level here. Like, you know, it's almost all over. So anyway, it's always lovely to talk to you, David. And
it is. It's
good
great
luck
to
with
see
all
you.
your endeavors and everything like that. And
Yeah,
whatever you do with
appreciate that.
Bitcoin in the community, I hope you work it out with all this crazy stuff going on. And I hope you keep having fun. And good luck to you and all your colleagues. So have a
All
good
right, Maury. Good to see you, man. Have a good one. This is thenewsunit.com on the YouTube Video Network.